Frozen. Hello, Boise High students. My book is called A Higher Call. Kind of backwards, but it's A Higher Call. It is a book about two World War II pilots from different sides. One from the Germany side and one from the American side. The difference between the two pilots is that one is a bomber, the other one is a fighter. Their names are the name of the pilots are Charlie and Franz. Now the difference is that Franz is actually from a different part of Europe, not from Germany, and not all pilots were like that during the German War. During the one part of the chapter where they meet up, so Charlie's here, Franz is here. As he's coming up behind him, he sees that there's no tail gunner, but he was about to shoot at the time, but decided not to because he saw that there was no tail gunner. At the time, he decided to go up on this left side of the plane and see what had happened. And since they were a Stagler, which is a hurt airplane, they had lost one of their gunners. The only gun that was working was their top turret, but then that froze later on. They only had three engines working and one that was not, because it was on and off. And then later on, he flies over onto the right side and looks at the pilot, tries to get his attention, and Charlie is thinking, "Oh crap, we're bait." But for 5 minutes, maybe more, felt like more to them. Franz was trying to tell him to go to Sweden, which was a neutral state or neutral country at the time, so to go land there. But during the time, Franz was taught when he was in Africa, fighting against the European forces, to if he ever shot a hurt airplane, because it's not respectable. And actually, there weren't any camps in Africa, so when a Allied force European pilot had crashed, they would actually take care of him, because enemy of my enemy is a friend, however that goes. But the bias of the author is that before he had talked to Franz and Charlie, he'd always thought that Germans were bad people, that all Germans were the same, they were all Nazis and all this before he talked to them. They had both survived the war, with more than at least 200 missions total. The historical truth is that this actually is true. You can actually look at videos of the author, who is Adam Makos, and look at videos of the book and show that Charlie actually, at the end of the war, Franz had moved to Canada because his father died in the war, but Charlie's parents were fine. It's also based on a true story. This is one of the many great stories of World War II in the air. This is just one of them. To me, it's one of the greatest because you didn't really find a German pilot not shooting at American Stagler B-17. It was just how Franz was. Yeah, I'll have pictures to show you at the end. Meet up and brothers meet each other, and that's the end. Thanks.